Hey, what's up everybody, it's Roy from India. Welcome to my channel Roy's Academy. Make sure you watch the video till the end, because if you don't, there might be some punchlines at the end of the video which is very much important for clearing the concept. And also at the end of watching the entire video, please do hit the thumbs up button and also comment down in the comment section below and let me know if you have any personal queries or doubts. And also you can show me your love and affection by subscribing my channel, so please do subscribe my channel and help me grow my channel more and more for you people, so that I can help benefit you people with more such videos. Thank you. So now I'm going to discuss on the catabolism of the purine nucleotides. First, what we have in the catabolism of the purine nucleotides, AMP, adenosine or adenylate monophosphate. AMP. Right. Now this AMP in the presence of enzyme called 5' nucleosidase helps in the formation of adenosine. Adenosine. Okay, adenosine. This is what is the catabolism of purine. So catabolism means, like I said, that the metabolism has two different aspects. One is the synthesis and another one is the catabolism. Catabolism means breaking down of a complex product to a simpler one, or conversion of one product to another more simpler product having a simpler structure. Okay, now in case of this purine metabolism, adenylate monophosphate is one of the master nucleotide and guanylate monophosphate is another master nucleotide, as we all know in the purine class of nucleotides we have in the incorporation in the structures of the DNA and RNA. Okay, now adenosine in the presence of adenosine deaminase. Adenosine deaminase helps in the formation of inosine. Okay. Now inosine in the presence of inosinidase. Inosinidase is an enzyme. Okay, in the presence of inosinidase or nucleosidase helps in the formation of the hypoxanthine. Hypoxanthine. Okay, now the hypoxanthine in the presence of xanthine oxidase. This hypoxanthine here is present in the keto form. Keto form means it has this functional group C double bond O. This is a functional group or the keto form group. Okay, now this hypoxanthine in the presence of xanthine oxidase, an enzyme, helps in the formation of xanthine keto form. Xanthine keto form. Okay. Now, I'm going to let you know that AMP, adenylate monophosphate, in the presence of 5' nucleosidase. Nucleosidase means it's help breaking the pentose sugar along with the nitrogenous base, that is adenine, right? It is leaving behind what? The phosphate, only the phosphate group, PO4. Hence is the formation of the adenosine. Adenosine means it's leaving behind the phosphate and adenosine is being extracted from the adenylate monophosphate. And now adenosine deaminase. Deaminase means it's removing the amine group. Amine group. It's removing the amine group. So when it's removing the amine group, it is forming the inosine residue. Right. Now this inosine residue in the presence of inosinidase. Inosinidase is another nucleosidase. It helps in the formation of hypoxanthine. Okay. So inosine structure, the inosine molecule, how does the inosine molecule, inosine is itself also sort of a form of uh, a nucleoside. Now in the formation of, in the presence of inosinidase, it is forming hypoxanthine. Now hypoxanthine is being formed in the presence of the removal of the ribose. In this step what happens, the ribose is being removed. The ribose of the pentose sugar is being removed from this step. Okay, and in this step the NH3 ammonia group is being removed, or the amine group is being removed. Okay, now this xanthine ketoform that is being formed, the xanthine oxidase, in the presence of xanthine oxidase, helps in the formation of the uric acid. This in the presence of xanthine oxidase helps in the formation of uric acid. Okay. Now the thing is how the inosine residue is forming the hypoxanthine. Like I mentioned, likewise I skipped this the explanation right here. Inosine is itself a nucleoside, as we know. This inosine molecule in the presence of inosinidase helps in removing the ribose and helps the formation of the hypoxanthine, that is the ketoform. So inosine is having another pentose ring or a ribose ring attached with itself. So when one ribose ring is being removed, then hypoxanthine itself is also having one ribose ring attached with a nucleotide ring. Okay, so this is what here the concept is, that inosine has having more than one ribose ring or pentose ring, which is being removed by the inosinidase or the nucleosidase, which also removes the ribose group or the ribose sugar and helps in formation of hypoxanthine, which is a ketoform. And then xanthine oxidase forms xanthine. Again, the xanthine oxidase from xanthine it forms uric acid. Okay. Now the GMP. What about the GMP? Like I mentioned, this is one master nucleotide here. Master nucleotide AMP. Now another one is the GMP. Right. Guanosine monophosphate. Now this is another master nucleotide of the purine. Right. Now this guanosine monophosphate is also getting converted to ultimately the hypoxanthine or the xanthine. So in the presence of the same 5' nucleosidase, helps in the formation of the guanosine. Right. Now this guanosine molecule, again in the presence of the nucleosidase, another nucleosidase molecule, helps in the formation of the guanine. Right. Here also the ribose sugar is being dropped off or being removed. So inosine with the removal, here the major concept is inosine with the removal of the ribose sugar forms the hypoxanthine. Okay, that is only the nucleotide ring, only the amino acid ring. Okay, not the nucleotide ring, the amino acid ring or the amino acid ammonia backbone or the nitrogenous backbone of the inosine, which in the removal of the ribose forms hypoxanthine. That means hypoxanthine is actually that amino acid or the nitrogenous base. That hypoxanthine along with the ribose is forming the inosine. So with the removal of the ribose, inosine is transcribing back to hypoxanthine. Now hypoxanthine in presence of xanthine oxidase forms the xanthine, and xanthine in the presence of xanthine oxidase forms uric acid. Here also the guanosine in the presence of nucleosidase or guanosidase helps in the formation of guanine, which is the nitrogenous base of the purine nucleotide. Now this guanine in the presence of guanine, deaminase, guanine in the presence of guanine deaminase, sorry, not aminase, it's aminase, helps in the formation of the xanthine. That is, it is removing the amine group or the amine group from the guanine and helping in the formation of xanthine. Okay, so this is what the purine nucleotide catabolism is all about, right? So this is how the AMP and the GMP, both of these molecules are being ultimately converted to uric acid, and this uric acid is being ejected out of the body through the sweat or with the help of via urine. So you can see that in the catabolism of the purine and pyrimidine nucleotides, why does this pathway happen anyway? Because as I told, when this concentration of the GMP and the AMP rises too much higher, in that case what happens? The AMP and GMP needed to be got rid of, needed to be sorted off. In that case, in order to get rid of these two molecules, they are ultimately converted to waste, that is uric acid, which is being deliberately rejected or removed out of the body with the help of urine or sweat, right? So this is how the catabolism of the purine nucleotides happens, both adenine and the guanine.